Canva versus Photoshop. Which is better for your graphic design project? In this video, I'm going to give you 5 key reasons to use Canva and 5 key reasons why Photoshop might be the better choice. Let's start with the reasons to use Canva. 1. Canva is much easier to use. Canva is designed to be easy to use by non-designers. So long as you have basic computer skills, it's really easy to get going with it. Its interface is built around simple drag and drop editing, and it gives you lots of templates and AI-powered tools that can help you create designs quickly. Photoshop, by contrast, is a more complex tool that comes with a steeper learning curve. It gives you far more control over images, layers, selections, and effects, but it takes longer to master. 2. Canva gives you access to millions of stock assets. A Canva subscription gives you access to a huge range of multimedia items, millions of videos, images, graphics, and audio files that you can drop easily into your designs. This means you don't really have to worry about sourcing or licensing media elsewhere. With Photoshop, stock images, videos, and audio files are not bundled into the platform. Depending on the assets you need, you may have to get them by paying for an additional Adobe stock plan, or by sourcing content from external services. 3. Canva is better for keeping your work on brand. Canva makes it incredibly easy to create content that aligns with your brand guidelines. Its Brand Kit feature lets you store your logos, brand colors, fonts, images, and reusable design assets in one place, and incorporate them into your designs really quickly and easily. Canva also lets you create reusable brand templates and lock key elements on designs so that logos, layouts, and text styles don't get changed by accident. Now, Photoshop users can reuse brand assets too, using Adobe Creative Cloud libraries, but its process for keeping you on brand isn't remotely as smooth or intuitive as Canva's approach. 4. Canva lets you make and repurpose more types of content. With Canva, you can create presentations, documents, charts, social media graphics, short videos, simple websites, whiteboards, and more, all from one dashboard. And a built-in print feature lets you quickly turn your creations into professionally manufactured items like flyers, business cards, posters, and even clothing. You simply order these for delivery from your Canva dashboard. Canva is also much better for repurposing the content you produce. This is thanks to its magic resize feature, which automatically adapts your designs to suit lots of different purposes or formats. For example, in just a couple of clicks, you can get Canva to turn a square Instagram post into a story, or convert a LinkedIn graphic into a YouTube thumbnail. Photoshop isn't remotely as flexible as that. It's a specialist image editing tool, not an all-in-one platform for creating and repurposing multiple marketing assets. 5. Canva is cheaper to get started with and can even be used for free. Canva gives you a genuinely useful free plan. This lets you access a wide range of stock assets and create usable designs without paying anything at all. And if you do upgrade to a paid Canva plan, you'll typically find that doing so costs less than subscribing to Photoshop, and considerably less than subscribing to Adobe's full Creative Cloud suite. I've put links to both the Canva free plan and a special 30-day trial of Canva Pro in the video description. Okay. So those are 5 key reasons why you might want to use Canva over Photoshop. But where does Photoshop have the edge? I'll come to that in just a moment, but before I do, I'd like to invite you to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. This helps us out and gives you easy access to all our business app reviews. So how does Photoshop beat Canva? 1. Photoshop is better for professional image editing. Photoshop is much more powerful than Canva for editing images. It's a tool that has been designed with image manipulation as its key focus. It comes with a host of advanced selection, correction, and retouching features that you won't really find in Canva. Its AI editing tools strengthen this advantage further. Advanced Firefly-powered features like Generative Fill and Generative Expand let you add new objects to a photo, remove unwanted elements, and extend backgrounds using text prompts. And once you've made an AI-assisted edit to an image, you can continue refining that image using Photoshop's full set of professional editing tools, including layers, masks, selections, adjustment layers, and retouching features. Now, Canva's basic image editing tools are fine for a lot of applications, and its AI tools are very useful for creating marketing assets quickly. But for professional photographers, retouchers, and digital artists who require precise control over their work, Photoshop is the better option. 2. It gives you a much wider range of export options. Canva's export options are fine for everyday uses. It lets you download designs in common formats like PDFs, PNGs, JPEGs, MP4s, and GIFs. But Photoshop gives you a much wider range of export options. It lets you export layered PSD files, super high-resolution images, print-ready files, and web-friendly formats. It also gives you much more control over things like image quality, transparency, resolution, color profiles, and compression settings. This matters if your work is going to be handed over to another designer, sent to a printer, or used in a professional photography workflow. 3. It gives you more control over typography. Photoshop gives you much more control over typography than Canva. It connects directly with Adobe fonts, giving you access to a huge range of professional typefaces. And it lets you fine-tune text in more detailed ways than Canva. You can adjust things like character spacing, line spacing, kerning, tracking, anti-aliasing, and text effects. This matters if your design relies heavily on typography, or if you need very precise control over how text appears in a graphic. Canva gives you plenty of fonts to work with, and for most everyday designs, its text tools are perfectly adequate. But ultimately, Photoshop gives you much more control over how your text looks. 4. It's better for automating repetitive tasks. Photoshop gives you more ways to automate repetitive design work. For example, Photoshop Actions let you record a sequence of editing steps like resizing an image, applying an effect, adjusting colors, or saving in a particular format, and then apply those steps again later. You can also use Photoshop's batch processing tool to apply edits to lots of files at once. If you need to resize hundreds of product photos, apply the same image correction to a large set of pictures, or compress multiple pictures for use on your website, you'll find this functionality invaluable. To be fair, Canva also includes some useful time-saving features, like Magic Resize. But when it comes to automating image editing tasks across large numbers of files, Photoshop gives you more control. 5. It integrates with more professional creative tools. The final advantage of Photoshop over Canva is the way it integrates so deeply with the wider Adobe Creative Cloud ecosystem, a set of industry-standard design and video production tools. You can open your Photoshop files easily in Adobe Illustrator, InDesign, Lightroom, and Premiere Pro. This opens up a host of additional creative possibilities for your Photoshop project, while keeping your workflow extremely smooth. If you're already using other Adobe tools, using Photoshop instead of Canva for image manipulation makes a lot of sense. And that's it. 5 key reasons to use Canva and 5 reasons why Photoshop might be the better option. So, which one should you choose? Well, here's my quick verdict. If you're a small business owner, marketer, or content creator who needs to make lots of professional-looking content quickly, Canva is the better fit for you. It's easier to use, cheaper to get started with, better for ensuring brand consistency, and more useful for creating marketing assets. But if you're a professional designer, photographer, or image editor, or if you need maximum control over your images and files, Photoshop is the more obvious choice. I hope you've enjoyed our Canva versus Photoshop comparison. If you're interested in trying out either tool, you'll find links to both in the video description, including a special extended trial of Canva Pro. If you'd like an even deeper dive into both tools, make sure you read our full comparison on the Style Factory website. Just Google Style Factory Canva versus Photoshop to find this. Before you go, do make sure that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notifications bell. And finally, if you have any questions about Canva or Photoshop, do leave them in the comments section. We read them all and we'll do our best to help.